All right, let's talk WNBA free agency this offseason and who the Indiana Fever should potentially target. All right, first let's talk about who they have coming off of the books. Erica Willer. I know that makes some of you guys really happy. I almost choked trying not to laugh. But $222,154 of Erica Willer coming off of the books. That's more than what Brianna Stewart was making this year, who's also coming off of the books for the New York Liberty. So just imagine if those two contracts were swapped, the kind of team that the Indiana Fever will have right now, paying Brianna Stewart just 205,000. They'd even save 17,000 by having her right now. But anyway, Erica Willis coming off of the books. Kelsey Mitchell at 206,000. She's coming off of the books. I hope that they do re-sign her, honestly. And Timmy Fagbenley as well, 76,000. She's coming off of the books. She had a 1-year deal. I think they should re-sign her also. It's unfortunate that she got hurt right when the good part of the schedule came and the chemistry started to click off. We haven't really seen her out there during the good part of the season for the team. We saw her when they were losing. I would like to see what she does on this back half of the season. I'm pretty sure she's going to contribute to them being a winning team now, but we'll have to see how much before we talk about actually re-signing her for a big deal. And the reason I say that, well, I'll get to that in just a second because let me pull up the list for you guys. Matter of fact, it's no good in me just looking at it myself. Give me 1 second. There we go. So if you look at some of the names that will be available this offseason, honestly not too impressed. And that's to say nothing bad about the teams, I mean the players that are out there. It's just that looking ahead. Okay, let's just start with the players here. Sophie, right? We know that Sophie Cunningham, she's already expressed her desire to want to play with Caitlin Clark. It won't happen in Phoenix. It was funny that she even asked Caitlin Clark to come to Phoenix, not even knowing that she'll be there next season herself because she's a free agent. We don't know what they're going to offer her or a different team's going to offer her. Personally, for that amount of money, she is a good player, but I'll pass. Dejanay Carrington. Okay, I've seen her name come up as well. Obviously, because of some of the drama, her connection with Alyssa Smith and all of that. No, she's been trying to make a name for herself all season. Clearly, because she knows that she's going to want to get paid this off season. And for a one-way player, I'm not sure that the game matches the name there, and I'm going to want to pay whatever the price is. I would rather sign Phoebich or Kennedy Carter, to be honest with you. But I'm honestly not looking to sign either one of those two either. You're probably like, damn, Mike, well, who do you want to sign? We're gonna get to that in just a second. All right, Satu. Love Satu. Saw her in Oregon, out there playing with Sabrina Ionescu. She was very useful then. Helped her actually lead the Oregon Ducks to a win over the USA team. And she's been a great pro, 18-8. Great player. I will go after her or Brianna Stewart, to be honest with you. That's where my list ends. I'm swinging for the fences this year. If I'm the Indiana Fever, I'm swinging for the fences with Brianna Stewart or with Satu Sabli, or I'm not swinging at all, to be honest with you. I'm going to go ahead and re-sign Timmy. I'm going to go ahead and re-sign Kelsey. I'm going to find, some lower paid player to fill that position that Erica Willer left. And I'm going to hold my money for next year because the biggest free agent year in WNBA history is in 2026, you guys, without a doubt. Now that I look at some of the names: Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd, Kalea Copper, Arike, Skylar Diggins, Smith, Marina Mabry, Kayla McBride, Sabrina Ionescu, Dearica Hamby, Asia Wilson. Listen, Chelsea Graves, she's fully healthy. 34. Not the youngest. She'll be 35 by then, but we've seen what Diana Taurasi was able to do at her age. So if she can get fully healthy, she's still useful out there. Jonquel Jones, Ezzy Magbagor, Jordan Canada, Nafisha Collier. So many great players. So many great players become available next year, and I want to make sure that we have the roster space, which that won't be a problem. We'll talk about that in just a second. But also the cap flexibility to sign another big player to come along and join Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and the core that they have built up there. Ray Burrell, Bridget Carlton, so many great names, you guys. Rebecca Allen, Atlanta Smith. I will take any of these players. Much more excited about this class than I am, this year's class of free agents. Give me the 2026 class all day. These are players that I want. Let's look at who's coming off of the books for the Indiana Fever in 2026, because there's a lot of them. Katie Lou Samuelson, which we can see what happens between now and then. Maybe they'll want to resign her for that big contract. Maybe not. Maybe you can replace that production, with a lot smaller of a contract. Damaris Dantes, Aaliyah Boston. Obviously, we're going to throw the bag at her. Melissa Smith. See, now that's where it comes into question. Do you want to pay Aaliyah Boston and Alyssa Smith at the same time in the same year with the free agent class this big? Me personally, I don't. So maybe they make a move with Alyssa Smith before then. I mean, obviously she's expressed her desires to be elsewhere, so maybe they make that happen. But you also have Grace Berger coming off of the books, Christy Wallace coming off of the books, Victoria Saxton, Lexi Hull. She's out there on vacation with Caitlin, so obviously they have a bond as well as Katie Lou. But we'll see what happens. This is a business, right? Too many good players to pass up. Ryan Howard. Right now, Atlanta paying Ryan Howard 75,000. They should have a great team around her. They have the cap space. That's going to go away in 26. Between her and Alicia Gray, they're both going to get paid. Well, Alicia Gray, she's kind of already getting paid, but for sure, Ryan Howard, that contract's going to balloon. For the Indiana Fever, focusing on them, so many players that I would want to pick up. Ray Burrell, still young. Jackie Young, speaking of young. Good players that you can bring over and have an instant contender if they're not already champions. Who knows what's going to happen between then and now. But yeah, me personally, I'm holding the money. I'm skipping out on this 2025 class of free agents, and I'm focusing on building the core that we have, bringing in a couple new bench players, and looking for some trades. And other than that, I'm waiving players. I'm bringing in more low level players, and I'm sticking with that. I'm not really making any big signings if it's not the biggest. If it's not Satu or Brianna Stewart, everybody else can pretty much stay where they are. See if I can swing a trade for Alyssa Smith. But other than that, I'm keeping my cap space for 2026. There's going to be a super team. Another super team is going to come up in 2026 outside of the Indiana Fever I'm talking about. There's going to be a lot of cap space out there in Phoenix. While I was talking about all the players that are coming off of the books, Brittany Griner and DT and Sophie Cunningham, yeah, they're coming off of the books for Phoenix this year, but they also have Kalea Copper, Natasha Cloud, and Rebecca Allen next year, all on big contracts. So, I mean, you re-sign Kalea Copper and bring in two other big pieces. We're talking another super team right there. New York, they're going to be trying to hold on to their team. They have to re-sign Brianna this year. They have to re-sign Sabrina and Jonquel and Benijah next year. So they're not really in a position to add more. They're trying to cling on to the players that they have. Minnesota, they have a lot of talent going out, which means obviously they have a lot of cap space still, but they're not going to be able to re-sign all of these players either. Bridget Carlton, Atlanta Smith, some of that depth, they're probably going to lose. And Indiana, they will be in great position to stand to pick up some of that talent and some of that depth. The LA Lakers, they're going to have a lot of money. A lot of money. They're probably going to be in a running to be one of those super teams that just picks up, you know, two key free agents in 1 year to put around Rakia and Cam, and now they're out there contending. So that's one that we're going to have to watch for. The Vegas Aces, they always have something up their sleeves as far as re-signing players. No pun intended. Yeah, they're gonna have a hard time re-signing all of their players as well. So the door is gonna be open. Connecticut, they're gonna have a lot of cap space between this year and next year with all of the players that they have going out. So we could see LA, we could see Connecticut, we could see Phoenix possibly becoming one of the next super teams in the WNBA. But the Indiana Fever, they're in pole position because they already have their core. I mean, to some extent, the Sparks do too, but the Indiana Fever really do. They can just add one key piece, and there's a lot of them out there. Some other team may grab two or three, but they only need one. The Indiana Fever. and a couple spot pieces behind that. So that's just my opinion. I'm taking a skip on this entire class of 2025, unless it's Brianna Stewart, which I read out. I think she'll resign from New York, or Satu Sabli, which I think is a more realistic chance of somebody that you could sign. But I'm passing out. I'm waiting until 2026. You're gonna have a great class then. You're gonna have to take care of Aaliyah Boston. You're gonna have to make a decision on Alyssa Smith. All right, and then right after that, obviously, that's when you're gonna have to resign Caitlin Clark. So you want to really be going for it that year because she's gonna take up a lot of money as well. So yeah, those are my thoughts as far as free agent signings. We'll talk about trades on a different video because there's so many possibilities there. But free agents, we already know who's definitely on the list for next year. It's not too impressive to me. Nobody that really upgrades a team a great amount. Um, Getting Erica Wheeler off of the books is the biggest upgrade that the Indiana Fever need to make at that contract number. I mean, if they can resign him for a lot less, you know, still don't, still don't sign him. All right, but those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree, if you think they should go after some players like maybe Sophie Cunningham or players like that. Let me know what number you'd be comfortable at signing them also, because if we're going to just put names out there, the numbers have to make sense as well. We can't just sign anybody for any number. But beyond that, let me know what you think. I'll be back with another video in just a second. There's nothing today on as far as the Olympics besides the opening ceremony, so you guys have my undivided attention today. I do have quite a few topics that I want to talk about before the day is over with, so you will see me coming back with another one soon. Hopefully this espresso calms down by the end and I can get a sentence out without jittering halfway through it. But I don't know. Right now I'm a little bit jumpy. I'll see you guys in a minute. I'm gonna go work out some of this energy and I'll be back in a second. I'll see you guys on the next one.